Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Man United Talks. It's your boy Day, and we are here for the FA Cup preview. It is Wolves versus Manchester United versus Wolves, however you want to say it. We're here to really discuss what is going to be a very pivotal game in Ollie's reign, or could be anyway. If we pick up where we left off, prior to Arsenal, I think we could really just kick back on. Otherwise, I think it could really take a turn for the worst and we could really spiral downhill. But in the same case, if we do lose, I'm still not that bothered, even though it is the FA Cup and I want to go as far as I can in any competition. But when I say I'm not bothered, I'm not bothered in the sense of the team kicking on, which kind of sounds stupid because this is a big game, really, in essence. My personal opinion is that these last few fixtures, although Ole has pulled the bat, he already pulled a miracle out of his butt when he beat PSG. To beat Arsenal, a team who know Manchester United well, a team who we know well in this league, who had their stars, who had their players, apart from Torreira in midfield. We didn't have our best team. We had Pogba back, yes, but we still was missing the likes of Ander Herrera to deal with the midfield, to deal with Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka's not getting that shot if Herrera's playing. It's just that simple. Matic coming back from an injury didn't look 100%, didn't look at the races. He still did all right, but he wasn't the best Matic I've seen, obviously, or the reinvigorated Matic you've seen under Ole. And then you got Martial, who those are players that make big impacts for us, especially the last time we went to the Emirates. Anthony Martial had a field day. The biggest miss, in my personal opinion, Jesse Lingard. It's like, and then Arsenal want to go on and post about, or Mesut Ozil wants to go on and talk about dancing at the Emirates and all that. You can't do that when the man who created it wasn't allowed to make his piece or say his piece. If Jesse Lingard played at the Emirates and had a terrible game, by all means, take the mick out of him, right? But you can't do that because next time, Jesse Lingard's going to show up to the Emirates and bap you about like a little baby, okay? So I'm looking forward to that. Although that's far into the future and, it is what it is. But we're going to the Molineux Stadium now and, I've been there actually and it's nice. It's a nice stadium and it's actually the only stadium I've ever been to in the UK, which is shocking because I'm a United fan and I love this club. But it is what it is. Anyway, let's talk about both sides and then we'll talk about the team. We'll talk about the team because I can't wait. If you do enjoy, by the way, please drop a like and comment. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. All right, it's a little late in the video for that, but it's written down at the bottom there on the other side. Wait, there you go. So whatever. Anyway, let's get into it. Booyah! Boom! Manchester United. We sit fifth in the Premier League. I know this is a FA Cup preview and I forgot to say it, but, it is what it is. We know this is another Premier League team. They sit seventh in the Premier League with 44 points, and we sit fifth with 58, which is decent. Arsenal have 60 points, and it's not a big gap. Arsenal could lose, for all we know, next week. Like, they really could. They're just that, got international break, but coming back, they could just be in shambles because Arsenal are the most inconsistent club in England. It's just facts, especially under Emery. You thought they were trash in the beginning, then they kick on, and then they're garbage again, and then it's like you just don't know. You don't know. My personal opinion is Aubameyang should be playing on the left wing, even though he's still banging in goals. But they're doing what they're doing, and it's working. They're in fourth place, so you can't really say much. They're doing better than us. But for me, my personal opinion, United's top performers: Lukaku, Lindelof, Pogba. You could put Rashford in there. You could put Smalling in there. He's been decent, even though he didn't have an amazing game against Arsenal. It is what it is. Other than that, Deleu's been all right, but I want to see him sustain what he's been doing. And Luke Shaw had a pretty good game. No, not Arsenal, but he's been all right. Let's put it that way. He's been all right. And I've seen him much worse, and he's doing all right. I've said that about 3 times in the last 10 seconds, but he's doing all right. Injuries and doubts, obviously Alexis. We know about that. Phil Jones, and then there's Darmian, who's not going to play for the rest of the season, so I'm not going to bother putting him in. Also, Valencia, who we know is leaving now. But I don't think those guys will get a sniff maybe last day of the season as a little, thanks for what you've done to this or at this club, because they have served this club. Darmian's been one of the more consistent servants at this club. I know he hasn't been amazing going forward, but he's been all right. And we all know Valencia, 10, 11 years at this club. Brilliant. And he's the club captain now, so he deserves, showing. I can't find the word. It's escaped my brain. But looking forward to it. Will he get a testimonial? I don't know. He could get one, I wouldn't complain. But, it is what it is. Let's go into the lineups, then we'll talk a bit about Wolves, or the lineup. Here's what I've gone for. Why am I from Texas all of a sudden? 4-1-2-1-2, 4-4-2 diamond. I'm willing it that Jesse Lingard will be fit. I'm willing it back into existence that Ander Herrera will be fit. And I hope to God that Delo is starting at right back. I'm going to pray about it, okay? So, yeah, let's go to the team. David net, back four of Delo, Smalling, Lindelof, Shaw, Matic sitting in the pivot role behind Herrera, Pogba, and then Lingard sitting behind Lukaku and Rashford. That's brilliant. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 4-3-3 with Lingard on the right and Martial on the left, or Lingard behind Martial and Rashford, or Martial and Lukaku. I think that's the most likely, is to see Lingard. If there's any changes from this 11, the most likely for me would be to see Martial in for Rashford, simply because Rashford's been playing every bloody minute. And he looks just fine. He really does look just fine. I said in the Arsenal preview that apparently he had a niggling injury or whatever, but he looks fine, man. He looks like he's not even bothered. And obviously, I don't know, because day in, day out, I'm not at the training ground. I don't see for myself, but from what I've seen on the pitch, and we all know Marcus Rashford is the most determined player at this club. He looks fine to me. Yeah, but that's the lineup I've gone for. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Simply, I don't know why I'm speaking so fast. Forgive me. I've simply gone with this lineup because we need more production from the wide areas. Luke Shaw put in brilliant ball against Arsenal for Lukaku, which he put onto the crossbar somehow. I don't know. That game, everyone knows we were the better side, but we didn't win. Delo, I think, needs to start at right back. Ashley Young, I don't know. I say it every preview. I just don't know what he offers. And maybe if we play a front three, play Delo at right wing. But, I mean, Ollie has done a magnificent job, so I'm not going to, poop on his parade. But I'm sure he knows, after seeing what Delo brought to the PSG game, he came on doing step overs, putting in balls for days. That's what you want. He assisted Lukaku. No, he didn't. He shot the ball for the forgive me, there's sirens in the background and they're throwing me off. He shot the ball for the penalty, and he just did a bunch of good things against PSG. So I really just think it's time. It's time. We're towards the latter end of the season. I know we want Champions League football. I don't know how much of a guarantee Ashley Young brings over Delo for Champions League football, but all I know is this. Delo will beat players. Delo will cross the ball with more efficiency, and that is what I want in this side, okay? That is what I want. Several times in the last month or so, I've seen Ashley Young receive the ball at the edge or the corner of the 18-yard box and just kick it out of bounds. Like, where he should be crossing it and putting a nice bend on it, but it's just going straight out of bounds, or it's smacked all the way over the back post. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. So please just play Delo, and I've made my case, and I've basically used up all the time that I wanted to use on the lineups. But otherwise than that midfield is solid. It's fluid. That's the strongest team. That's the team that's been playing under Ole. That's the team when everyone was fit under Ole. That's the team he put out, or this is the team he put out. Obviously, instead of Smalling, it was Bailly. No, actually, it was Jones. But yeah, man, I'm more than happy if this team goes out against Wolves. Going into international break, we can play our strongest available 11, and cross fingers, pray to God that no one gets injured on international duty. As far as I know, it's only Lingard and Shaw Well, obviously, I'm sure Matic. What am I saying? Obviously, Matic, Pogba, Lukaku, Lindelof, De Gea. I'm speaking out of my butt. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, yeah, but that's my lineup. And now let's talk a bit about Wolves, who I got a bit of respect for, to be honest. I've always respected Wolves. I got family that live in Wolverhampton. Um, and I'm happy that they're in the league. I am. If I had to pick a second team in the league, and I wouldn't, I'm just saying, it'd probably be like if someone put a gun to my head and said, "Who would you support if you couldn't support Manchester United?" It'd probably be Wolves. And fair play to them. They've come up this season. I know they've been backed massively and made great signings, but they've been exceptional. Nuno, I don't want to try to pronounce his last name. I want to say Espirito or something like that. He's been great at Wolves. Their form is all right for a team that's just come up. They're in 7th place. And they're banging on, man. They are banging on, and you got to respect them. Jota and Jimenez have been flying. They have been absolutely flying. Jimenez, I don't know why I didn't put him in my fantasy team earlier. I just didn't. I wasn't sure about him. And Jota, I did watch before he went to Wolves, and he was there last season, I believe, as well. And then you can't forget about the likes of Adama Traore, who is the fastest player in football. Ivan Cavallero, who has been decent. He's kind of one of those edgy players who doesn't really have an end product, though. He's skillful, can put a ball in the box, but he just kind of dilly-dallies a bit too much for me. And then they got Bennett, who I believe is a center half, who's suspended till April 2nd. So, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what he did to get that suspension. But I guess that's a benefit, really. Otherwise than that, Rui Patricio is solid in that. My man of the match for the Euro 2016. Yeah, that's my man of the match. Yeah, but that's about it for me in terms of talking about Wolves. They play, we all know they stick to the 3 at the back, the 3-4-3, I guess. Yeah, it's a 3-4-3. Or a 3-4-1-2 with Moutinho in the hole. Sometimes that's how they play. But they play good, fluid football. Ruben Neves at the center of the park is a dangerous man, and I hope we go all in to get him. I like Nemanja Matic, but Ruben Neves is someone who is great with the ball at his feet. He can hit one from long range just like Matic, and he's young. So, I know he's really committed to this Wolves project, and he really is the centerpiece of it all. He really is the centerpiece from when they were in the championship last year. I was surprised he even went to the championship last year. But Nuno has got a relationship with that kid, and they're going places. So he might stick on. If they're making 7th place, they might be able to get to Europe, and he might just stick on for the journey. So that's fair. That's fair if that's what happens. But all in all, they're a solid side, and you got to respect them. You cannot go in underrating and overlooking the quality that this team has. Johnny on the left wing back, who is quality, absolute quality. Don't let him get a ball in. That's the only thing I might be scared of a bit, to see him running at Delo if Delo does play. But otherwise than that, I think man for man we beat them. But we just got to show up and really take care of business. We got to be clinical. Because in my opinion, Lukaku had a fairly decent game against Arsenal. He was pretty darn good. He just didn't finish. His hold-up play was the best it's ever been. His touch, obviously, which is involved with hold-up play, was A1. But he just could not put the ball in the back of the net. That goes for others as well. We just really have to take our chances, because we do create chances. And under Ole, it's been massive that we've created chances. A lot more than under Jose, that's for sure. But the first few games, the first 10, 11 games under Ole, we were clinical. We were taking our chances. Even against PSG, we took our chances. And that's the key. That's the key. We definitely should have beat Arsenal. Everyone and their mama knows we were the better team in that game. So let's just go out and do what we do and put our chances away. So, in saying all that, let's go back to this beautiful screen with the beautiful man that is Ander Herrera. That's my key matchup. Ander Herrera versus Ruben Neves. You see it on the thumbnail as well. That is what I'm going to be looking out for. I think Ander Herrera will definitely lock him up, if not Nemanja Matic. But Matic kind of just seems like a ball player more than a lockdown defender to me. That's just my opinion. He makes interceptions, but he never really man marks anyone. He just sweeps up, which isn't terrible. It's not a bad thing by any stretch. But yeah, in saying all that, my score prediction for this game, I'm going to say 3-1's been the trend for United recently. You know, it really has. But I feel like this might be closer. I'm going to say, I don't want them to score, but I feel like they will score. I'm going to say 4-2 to United. Yeah. I really don't want us to concede. I don't want us to concede, but I feel like it's one of those games where it's going to go 2-0 United, 2-1. Wolves going to get one. Then it's going to be 3-1. Then it's going to be 3-2. Then it's going to be 4-2. So, yeah, that's what I'm going for. If you guys did enjoy, please drop a like and subscribe. If you're new, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. It's been your boy Days. Man United Talks. I am out of here. Deuces.